3 months ago, I was just a student. Then I fell into a prehistoric world. A starving tribe saved my life. I taught them fishing, killed a giant terror bird, became their leader, created pottery, built the foundations of a civilization. But now, something was coming, and nobody knew what it was. At first, everyone expected war. The scouts reported dozens of armed strangers crossing the western mountains. Spears, axes, clubs, enough weapons to destroy us. The entire tribe prepared for battle. But when the strangers finally appeared, something felt wrong. They weren't moving like warriors. They were moving like survivors. Among them were women, children, elders, entire families. This wasn't an invasion. It was an escape. We met them at the edge of the valley. For several long moments, neither side moved. One mistake could start a bloodbath. Then their leader stepped forward. His face looked exhausted. His people looked even worse. Hungry, weak, desperate. They weren't here to conquer. And they were running from something, and somehow that frightened me more than war. Because if a tribe that large had abandoned their homeland, what could force them to do that? I invited their leader into our settlement. As he walked through the village, his eyes widened. He saw fish drying racks, storage huts, pottery workshops, organized workers, the first signs of civilization. To him, it must have looked impossible. But I only cared about one question. What were they running from? 3 days later, I got my answer. Hunters returned from the northern forests. They carried no food, no trophies, no smiles, only fear. One hunter collapsed before reaching the village. The others pointed toward the horizon. Smoke, massive columns of smoke rising beyond the mountains. Entire forests were burning. At first, I assumed it was a natural wildfire, but then more scouts returned. Every report told the same story. The fire wasn't spreading normally, it was moving, traveling in a single direction, destroying some valleys, ignoring others, almost as if something was guiding it. Suddenly, everything made sense. The migrant tribe hadn't left voluntarily, they had escaped. And whatever was behind those fires was moving toward us. The valley erupted into panic. Some demanded we leave immediately. Others wanted to prepare for war. The elder looked at me, waiting. Everyone was waiting. Because leadership is easy when life is good. The real test comes when disaster arrives. So I made my choice. We stay, and we prepare. Every hunter began making spears. Every worker gathered supplies. Every child carried food and wood. Every family prepared for the worst. The settlement transformed. Defensive trenches appeared. Wooden walls rose around the village. Watchtowers overlooked every approach. Food reserves doubled, then tripled. Day after day, the valley worked as one. But despite all our preparations, something still bothered me. The smoke, the patterns, the movement. None of it felt natural. It felt intelligent, as if someone or something was searching. One evening, I climbed a cliff overlooking the northern mountains. The sun slowly disappeared behind the horizon. Below me, the village looked peaceful. Children played near the river. Workers carried pottery. Smoke drifted gently from cooking fires. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then I saw it. Movement, far beyond the mountains. At first, I thought it was a herd. Then my stomach dropped. The shapes were too organized, too deliberate. Hundreds of figures, maybe thousands, moving together. formation after formation stretching across the horizon. Not animals, not refugees, an army, a massive army, and it was heading directly toward our valley. That night, nobody slept, not because we feared war, but because of something far worse. The army wasn't marching randomly. It wasn't conquering nearby tribes. It wasn't searching for food. It was coming straight toward us, as if someone had already told them where we were. And the next morning, we discovered footprints inside the valley. Footprints that didn't belong to anyone in our tribe.